What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Ami's World. Today we got another lit story time. Okay, so I'm starting to get a little hip and a little used to doing the story times, and I know that you guys want to know, like, dang, what type of stuff have happened to her like before she came onto this camera? You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you a juicy story time today, and it basically is about, I don't know how I'm going to title it just yet, but it's basically about how my ex-boyfriend in high school was cheating on me with two other girls in the same school but in different grades. So I'm about to just get into the story time right now because it's juicy. Okay, so basically it starts like this. So, you know, it's my sophomore year. I think it's my sophomore year. It's my junior year, I believe, in high school. It's my junior year in high school, and there was a new kid that came to the school, and we're gonna call him Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Anyway, so Scooby-Doo is a new kid, came to the school or whatever. He's so cute, you know, looking mighty fine, brown skin, honey, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know how that shit goes. And basically, like, me and my best friend at the time, we're all looking at him like, dang, that new boy is cute. You know, he's fine. And, you know, for me, I was just like, I want him. He's fine and I want him. So guess what? You feel me? We're gonna get to there. But basically, I was like, I want him. But, you know, when you're a girl back in the day, you kind of want a guy to approach you. You kind of want a guy to, like, you know, like, say, like, hey, shawty, what's good? You know, but you might give him a little hint. You might flirt a little bit. You might give him some eyes. You might whatever to entice them, basically, a little bit, to let them know, like, okay, you know, I want you. So basically, long story short or whatever, every time he came around, like, I was like super nervous and super like giddy and cutesy and stuff like that or whatever. I was on the Palms team, and my two best friends at the time were football managers. So basically, like, you know, they would get them like water and like things like that or whatever, the towels and things like that or whatever. And he was actually on the football team. He came in because the football team at my school at the time was really popular for like the consortium for the area we were in, really popping. They were really doing numbers and stuff. So I guess he probably like heard about them, you know what I'm saying, and ended up transferring to the school. So he ended up being on the football team right away. You know, I was on the Palms team and stuff, and I just was eyeing him for like the longest time. And I was just like, dang, this thing really works out, because after my Palms practice, I would go to the football practice where my best friends were, and literally be hanging out with them all day until like the football practice was over, just watching him, eyeing him, you know what I'm saying? Just cool stuff like that. And I was really cool and really close with a lot of people on the football team. So it was even closer, you know what I mean? And even like during lunchtime at school, we would hang out with the football team and sit where they were sitting and stuff, and he would like always be around. We'll do little flirty, little cutesy stuff, always catch each other's eyes, and you know what I mean? Little things like that, little cute stuff that happened in high school. So long story short, fast forward or whatever, there was one time after one practice, and we're all hanging out. You know, everybody was about to go to like McDonald's, because McDonald's was like up the street. That was like the main spot. Like after school, everybody go to McDonald's, you know, skip school, go to McDonald's, whatever. McDonald's was like the main spot. So basically, there was this one time we were about to go to McDonald's, and before we were about to go, you know, the football team was leaving, we all leaving, and we ended up crossing paths. And I don't even remember the conversation that was had, to be honest, but I know that he ended up giving me his number. Like, that's just what happened. He ended up giving me his number, and I was like, dang, okay, well, that's cool too. I mean, like, but dang, I have to hit him up now. I have to utilize the number instead of, like, you know, basically, I guess he wants to know, like, if she's serious, you know what I'm saying? If she really feeling the kid, she gonna call him, you know? And what happened? I did. I reached out to him or whatever, and that's where it all began. Oh my gosh, you know? I'm like so psyched and so giddied up. So I'm like, damn, this fine ass new boy that just came in, I had my eye on him. And what happened? I got his number now, and I'm about to use it, and we about to see where our love story goes, you know? That's how I'm thinking. So basically, after that, we're communicating for a while or whatever, and then we first hang out, right? We first hang out, and we're just having a good old time, grand old time. We're hanging out for like hours on top of this, like hours and hours and hours, you know? And, you know, we're hanging out, and this is a little bit too much information, but I usually don't, you know, do this, especially in high school. I usually don't do this, but at this time, you know, I was just really feeling him for a long time. I really had my eye on him for a long time. So, you know, we're hanging out, and I feel like, damn, he's actually a dope person. You know, I'm really feeling him like a lot. So then, you know, we start to, you know, touchy feely kissy and all that stuff. And basically this man tells me that he's a virgin. And I'm like in high school, just dumbfounded. Oh, fun fact too, let me remind you. So I usually don't date men younger than me ever. That's like a main thing of mine. Like, no, I could never date a man younger than me. But this guy, I already had my eye on him before I even knew how old he was and what grade he was in, basically. And then on top of that, his birthday's in February, my birthday's in July. So basically there would be like a little point of the year where we were the same age, because like I wasn't necessarily a whole year older than him. I was like some months older than him, basically. You know, my birthday's in the summer, it's later on in the year. His birthday's earlier in the year. So it basically was like, you know, it'll be a few months where we're literally the same age, and then when my birthday comes, I'm older than him until his birthday comes, basically. So, and basically we're having a good old time, and this guy tells me he's a virgin, so I believe him. I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, that's what's up, you know, that's cool. I wasn't at the time, but I was like, that's cool, that's cute, you know, that's fine. So basically, you know what I'm saying, you know, it just gets a little like hot and heavy in there, you know, and basically he's just like, let me just put the tip in. And you girls know, but it is like, let me just put the tip in. You know, that's not where it stops. You know, that's not where it ends. It's like a way to kind of just entice you to be like, all right, it's not that bad, you know. So that's basically what happened. He's like, let me put the tip in. I'm like, all right, bet. He puts the tip in, you know what I'm saying, and he's like, he in like 2 seconds. And I'm just like, I say to him, I'm like, oh my gosh, did I just take your virginity? Like, and he kind of like giggles off. But long story short, this was a bold-faced lie. This is a lie. This is probably like what he told all the girls, like, to get us where he got us. So basically, anyway, fast forward or whatever. So, you know, we started vibing, and we really just like hit it off, like from the jump. You know, we're like literally hanging out like every day at this point. Like, this is going on for like 6 months. Like 6 months we're dating. We're like heavy, just heavy. Like I'm feeling like, you know, like things are really building up and really getting strong, you know. And so then the summer of that year, of my junior year, I went to my aunt's house. She lived in Texas at the time, so, you know, I spent the summer over there. So basically our conversations are just on the phone, and we're talking literally every day throughout the entire day. So like, you know, you don't really know how much time or when a person, you know, has to cheat, basically, you know what I'm saying, let alone with 2 other girls, you know, throughout this whole time. So this, me being at my aunt's house in the summer, is just a portion of our relationship, okay? Our relationship was really going strong, you know, because we were together literally every day on the phone, literally every day. So basically summer's still happening, you know. It's like, I think like the last 2 weeks before, you know, the summer is over, this new school year is about to start. I get back home to where I live. I'm no longer at my aunt's house or whatever. So now, you know, we're hanging out and stuff like that. We're vibing, picking up where we left off and everything. And actually, let me remind you, when I was at my aunt's house in the summer, this dude told me, this is the first time, I never said it first. He told me out of nowhere, he was like, I love you. And you know, when a man tells you he loves you, it's just like, dang, especially if you didn't tell him first and he tells you first, it's like, oh wow, like this guy's locked in, you know. So I felt like he was super locked in, and I felt like, dang, like we really are building something here. We're really going strong, you know. And like after, I think like 6 months, I mean, you should be having some type of direction in your relationship, right? So when he told me he loved me and I didn't say it first, I just felt like, dang, you know, in high school, I felt like, oh wow, this man's locked in. We're hanging out, vibing, cooling. We're at like some basketball court or some park in his neighborhood, and we're just playing around, being cute, playing basketball and stuff like that. I go home, and you know, me and my best friends at the time, we had each other's passwords for like everything, you know, like we were really like that, for real, like close as F, and we all had each other's passwords for everything. So basically I just logged on to one of my best friends Facebook, just randomly, just logged onto it just to see, you know, what type of activities going on her stuff or whatever. And basically a DM or a ping or live chat message or whatever you want to call it for Facebook pops up, and it's from one of the girls that he was cheating on me with, but I didn't know at the time. And she basically says in the message, I don't remember verbatim because it's so many years ago, but she basically said like, you know, hey, you know, tell Ami that Scooby-Doo is cheating on her with me and with this other girl. So I'm gonna name the girls 1 and 2 because like they're just like, you know, other girls. So tell Ami that Scooby-Doo is cheating on me and her and number 2 together. And the reason why I know this is because my cousin, this is the same girl, number 1, saying my cousin saw them together at the park, and she's wearing a black shirt, red pants, literally explained my fit, like, and I was like, oh, this is real life, this is true, like. And it's funny because she thinks she's talking to my best friend, but it's actually me on her Facebook, and she just pings, you know, and just giving all this information for my best friend to tell me, but she's actually telling me, you know. So I'm like, wow, this guy's cheating on me, huh, with her, huh, right? So then now I go onto my Facebook and I message her like, yeah, hey, so my friend told me ABCD or whatever, like, is this true, like, what's good? And basically she's just like, yeah, girl, and he was fucking around with, you know, girl number 2. And the funny thing is about girl number 2, right, is that she is a freshman. So remember, I'm a junior. Girl number 1 that DM'd my friend is a sophomore, and girl number 2 who she mentions is a freshman. So is a freshman involved, a sophomore involved, and then me, the junior, involved. So I'm like, wow, this guy's a sophomore, right? So I'm like, wow, okay, interesting. So basically, let me bring back some information about girl number 2, the freshman. So every time she sees me, she would always give me like this weird stare down. Like she would just stare me down. It's like she would have so much to say, and like she wants to say something to me, but she doesn't say anything but stare, you know? So I just felt like, dang, like what is up with this girl staring at me all the time? Like maybe she's just admiring me from a distance, or maybe like she's like she's a freshman, she's shy to speak to me or something. I don't know, I didn't think too deep into it, but it started to get really weird and strange to me because it became like a really like often thing where she was always just staring at me, you know? So fast forward, that ended up being girl number 2, the freshman that he also was fucking with. And it comes to find out like, oh, that's probably why she was staring at me like that, because she probably had a hint. Because I remember I was always around the football team and he was on the football team. I was always around them. Me and him would always lock eyes, giggle, a little flirt and stuff. So I felt like she would peep it, but maybe he was lying to her and telling her other things. But you know what I'm saying, she knew a little something going on. She knew something was going on. She probably wasn't 100% sure and probably didn't want to confront me. I don't really know exactly why she was staring at me, but come to find out, she was also messing with him too. So that probably was why. But anyway, fast forward or whatever. So basically now me, girl number 1, and girl number 2 are all in this DM together because she adds her. So we're all in this DM together, all messaging, basically comparing stories and like, you know, just saying like, wow, like the timelines and things like that. And it's just like, wow, this new kid really came to this school and really is fucking with 3 girls at the same time, all in different grades. And that's how he really got away with it, for reals, because we weren't friends. All of us weren't friends with each other. We were just all in different grades. And you know, in high school, everybody knows everybody, even though you don't talk, you know, to everybody. You might not be so close or so cool with everyone. You see people walking down the halls all the time, people at lunch, whatever, you know. So basically, that probably was how he got away with it, basically, because we all in different grades, which was smart on his end. Very, very smart, man. Very, very smart. Scooby-Doo, you are a sneaky, sneaky man.
Got it!
But anyway, so basically we're all having a conversation, comparing stories and everything. So I find out that he actually got girl number 1 pregnant, who was a sophomore. He got her pregnant and she had an abortion. And girl number 2, he actually took her virginity, like actually popped her cherry. So I felt like she was low-key, like, you know, really on homies, you know what I'm saying? And that explains why. But anyway, so fast forward or whatever, we talk about this, we talk about that, and I confront him about it, and he basically is just like, yeah, he didn't deny it. He's like, yeah, you caught me, you know, it's true, it's effed up, you know, and I'm sorry, basically. And I'm just like, dang, like this man just told me he loved me though. Like I didn't ask him to say that. I didn't do nothing specific for him to say that. I didn't say it first. I didn't hint anything. I didn't say anything. He literally just out of nowhere was just like, I love you, like, you know. And I was like, you know, taken back, and I'm thinking we getting serious, you know. But whole time who knows what he's telling all these other girls or whatever, but you know, he told me he loved me, you know what I'm saying? But I did ask them, I was like, did he tell you he loved you and stuff like that? And they both said no. In the conversation, as we're comparing everything, relationship stories, timelines, I asked them, like, did he tell y'all he loved y'all? And they were like, no. They both said no. So I was like, oh, maybe he actually did, but he just couldn't stop, you know, being a hoe. I don't know what it was, but, and then I was just like, dang, one got pregnant, one had an abortion, and I was just like, man, like, that's really sad and really messed up that he did that to them, you know? But I really felt like, dang, I felt like I walked away unscathed because, you know, I didn't tell him I love him, and thank the Lord I didn't get pregnant, and thank the Lord he wasn't the one to take my virginity, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it was just a messed up situation as a whole. But fast forward or whatever, girl number 2, who was a freshman, was low-key obsessed with him, low-key, like, you know what I'm saying? She's a freshman, he took her virginity, it's kind of expected, you know? So basically she ended up dating him, because after this we all followed each other on social media, we all became cool and stuff like that. We were like, okay, well, we don't have no issue with each other, it's not each other's faults that we here, you know? He's the reason why we're here. So we didn't, you know, come to each other as a woman or do any of that crazy things. It was just like, man, this guy's a mess. So basically, long down the line or whatever, I'm following both of the girls, and I see that girl number 2, the freshman, is dating him again. Like, she's posting him all on her Instagram, all this and all that. And you go to his Instagram and you don't see, I'm also following him too, because I didn't have no bad blood towards him. Like, yeah, he did cheat on me, but like I said, like, I walked away unscathed. Like, I didn't hold no grudges towards him. I was just like, he was just a little boy being a hoe, you know? So basically, I see that he's not posting any of her stuff, like posting her at all, showing her off, none of that. And I'm like, I could already tell, I'm like, he's back on that stuff again. I know that he's not taking her serious, and I know that he's probably cheating on her. I know he's probably looking at her as like this little dumb girl or something that just can't leave him alone, you know? Fast forward a little more, randomly, I think I came across his Instagram or something like that. I don't know. And I think I like DM'd him just to check on him and see how he's doing and stuff. And he ended up sending me his number, telling me to text him. So I was like, okay, I guess. And so then I text him, and we're just going back and forth in text messages, and then we finally get on the phone. We're just talking, just random stuff, just like catching up and stuff. I don't have no feelings towards him. I don't want nothing from him. I'm just like that good person to just check up on somebody, you know? And basically this guy tells me that, you know, he's sorry for what he put me through and all that, and you know, he thinks that he got karma because of it, because he ended up getting jumped by some guys in a metro station and robbed of $200 and his shoes off of his feet. He was knocked unconscious, like it was all caught on camera. He's beat up, unconscious, robbed, and his stuff stolen from him. So it's just like, dang, I'm not happy that that happened to him, but it's kind of like, dang, you really like had 3 people effed up, like literally in an entanglement, like 3 people. It could have really got worse, you know, really bad, but just that we all handled it pretty good, I felt like, you know. And he ended up getting his karma for treating us like that. And it's just like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry it had to be you, but you did it to yourself, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but that's the long story short. Basically, Scooby-Doo, you know, new fine man. I was like, I want him. I basically got him, but he was also playing me with 2 other girls in the same school, but all different grades. So that was actually really, really slick on his part. I actually am like, dang, give him an Oscar. Like, this is the player of the year. I promise you. I don't know if anyone's ever did it like this now, but I'm sure there's some dirty niggas out there that's probably played worse, you know, probably did it worse, you know. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this story time was pretty interesting for you, like it was for me to tell it, because I literally am just thinking about, like, man, this guy really just, he really just did that. He really did that. He had some nerve, some nerve. Like, I was eyeing you for the longest time, boo. You didn't have to do that, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, he did it. I don't know where he is today. I hope he's doing well. But you know what I'm saying? Like this video, comment down below any other, you know, effed up stories that you might have, or some that had you fucked up. You feel me? Some nigga had you you feel me? Cause this nigga had me fucked up. You feel me? But basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.